6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala, read by Soundi Thavam. It has been stressed that following health guidelines is essential to control the spread of the COVID plus variant in the country. A decision has been taken to complete the vaccination for all eligible children within 2 weeks. The government says that there is no fuel shortage in the country. There is a significant increase in the number of dengue patients. Political consultations between Sri Lanka and the Kingdom of Bahrain. In world news, Alec Baldwin heartbroken over fatal film set shooting. And in sports, Sri Lanka beat the Netherlands by 8 wickets. The Deputy Director General of Health Services, Consultant Dr. Hemantha Herath, says that even though it is possible to delay the entering of the COVID plus variant into Sri Lanka, it is impossible to fully control it. He said that the rate of contracting and transmitting depends on the behavior of the people. It is essential to follow the health guidelines given by the authorities. Even though the travel restrictions are lifted, the health practices should be followed to control the spread of the virus. There is a possibility of the virus entering the country through foreign visitors. Following the health practices will protect everyone from this virus. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said 552 COVID-19 cases have been detected yesterday, raising the number of confirmed infections to 534,975. The ministry added that 18,661 persons are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at several facilities across the country. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services says that 12 coronavirus-related fatalities have been confirmed yesterday in Sri Lanka, raising the death toll to 13,574. 7 males and 5 females were among the victims. 8 persons, 4 males and 4 females among the group that succumbed to the virus were 60 years of age or above. The Secretary to the Ministry of Power, KDR Olga, says that there is no fuel shortage in the country at present. She added that contracts have been signed to purchase fuel until next January. The necessary stocks will be received duly. She affirms that people do not need to fear about a possible fuel shortage. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Health Minister Kele Rambukwala says that there is a significant increase in the number of dengue patients in Sri Lanka due to the prevalent rainy weather conditions. Issuing a statement, the Health Ministry said that the minister has instructed health authorities to continue implementing the dengue eradication programs to curtail the disease. Addressing the media yesterday, Consultant Community Physician of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Shilanthi Seniviratna, said 21,154 dengue patients and 10 deaths due to the disease have been detected so far this year. The highest number of dengue patients have been reported from the Western Province. A high number of patients have also been reported from the Kandy, Galle, Matara, Kurunegala, Badulla, Ratnapura and Kagala districts. She said fever, headache and pain under the eyes are symptoms of the disease and urged the public to seek immediate medical attention if they are suffering from such symptoms. She further advised that people taking medicine for fever must take the prescribed amount of paracetamol only and must refrain from taking any other medication. The public are urged to keep their premises clean in order to prevent the breeding of dengue mosquitoes. The first session of political consultations between Sri Lanka and Bahrain were held by virtual platform recently. The MOU on political consultations was signed between the two countries in 2009 with a view to further developing bilateral relations and exchange views on regional and international issues of common interest. The delegations deliberated on further developing the existing relations to new avenues of cooperation. The meeting identified several areas including trade, investment, manpower, education, culture, tourism, health, agriculture, skill development and vocational training for mutual benefit. That concludes local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
A decision has been taken to complete the vaccination for all eligible children within 2 weeks. Frontline workers, including those in the health, security, airport and tourism sectors, will be given the Pfizer vaccine from the 1st of next month as the third and booster jab. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa gave the relevant instructions yesterday during a meeting with the Special COVID Eradication Committee held over video technology. The Special COVID Committee decided to commence primary sections of all schools, grades 11 and 13, following discussions with the education and health authorities. Attention was paid on the possibility of commencing tuition classes. Meanwhile, interprovincial train services will commence from Monday. Passengers with season tickets will be permitted to travel in the first phase. The President instructed to add more compartments to minimize overcrowding. Travel restrictions between the provinces will be lifted on the 1st of next month. The President pointed out the importance of encouraging people to follow health guidelines and to consume local food and drink and medicines to boost immunity. That came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Live.
The Controller General of the Department of Immigration and Immigration announced that passports are being issued to a limited number of applicants at the Battaramulla head office of the Department and of Immigration as well as at Matara, Vavuniya, Kandy and Kurunegala regional offices following all health guidelines. Applicants are requested to visit the website www.immigration.gov.lk to reserve a date and came to you in Watchlight.
World News.
Making headlines this morning, Alec Baldwin heartbroken over fatal film set shooting. Nurses refused to treat police after colleagues shot in the Eswatini protests. And France to pay 38 million citizens €100 each to ease costs. Actor Alec Baldwin has expressed his shock and sadness after fatally shooting cinematographer Halnia Hutchins with a pop gun on a New Mexico film set. He tweeted that he was in touch with her husband and had offered support. Quote, "My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who knew and loved Halnia," unquote, he wrote. Mrs. Hutchins, 42, was shot on the set of the Western Rust while working as director of photography. Mrs. Hutchins was flown to hospital by helicopter after the shooting on Thursday afternoon but died of her injuries. Director Joel Souza, 48, was injured and taken from the scene at Bonanza Creek Ranch by ambulance. Nurses in Eswatini are refusing to treat police officers as they accuse them of shooting colleagues during a pro-democracy rally on Wednesday. Protests in Africa's last absolute monarchy, formerly known as Swaziland, have swept the country since June. Some internet services, such as Facebook, were temporarily shut down this week in response to the unrest. The government, which denies the security forces used live ammunition, has now banned all demonstrations. The French government has announced a one-off payment of €100 for each citizen whose monthly net income is €2,000 or less to help counter the surge in fuel and energy prices. The inflation allowance will go to about 38 million French people automatically, including those who do not drive a car or ride a motorbike. The first payments will go to business employees in late December. Civil servants, students and pensioners will get theirs in early 2022. The €100 payment will be tax-free, and Prime Minister John Castex said it would cost the government €3.8 billion. That would be far less than the cost of cutting fuel duty, he said. Back to the headlines of the world news. Alec Baldwin heartbroken over fatal film set shooting. Nurses refused to treat police after colleagues shot in Eswatini protests. And France to pay 38 million citizens €100 each to ease costs. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
And now in development news.
The Director General of Highways Ministry, LVS Veerakun, says that a record income has been registered from the tickets of expressways during the previous long weekend. The income of the first day of the long holiday has exceeded 30 million rupees. He said that 120,000 vehicles travelled on that day. About 400,000 persons have travelled by vehicle on highways during that time. Mr. Veerakon said that it is a record income received by the Highways Ministry through expressways during the recent past and came to you in development news.
Sports news.
Sri Lanka beat the Netherlands by 8 wickets in the qualifying match of the ICC T20 World Cup. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to field first. Accordingly, the Netherlands were bowled out for 44 runs in 10 overs. This is apparently the lowest score of a team in T20 World Cup history. In reply, Sri Lanka hit the target score of 45 runs, losing only 2 wickets and with 77 balls remaining. The matches of the Super 12 round begin today and came to you in sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Ceylon Shipping Corporation Limited joined with Sail Lanka Yachting Group to embark on a journey together in developing and promoting nautical tourism, cruising and yachting, as well as establishing passenger transport systems by ferry. The initial focus would be to develop the northern province of Sri Lanka, which is rich in tremendous untapped potential for tourism and its development. That came to you in business news. We'll look at economic news next.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
And in economic news, the Bank of England's new chief economist has warned that UK inflation is likely to hit or surpass 5% by early next year. Hav Pill told the Financial Times that the bank would have a live decision to make at its next interest rate setting meeting on the 4th of November. It follows recent comments from the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey, who said it will have to act on inflation. The UK interest rate has been at a historic low of 0.1% since March 2020. Recent data showed that inflation growth slowed to 3.1% in the year to September. However, it is expected to increase because of the rising energy costs, higher wages to fill record vacant posts, and the supply chain disruption. That came to you in economic news.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Showers or thundershowers will occur over most parts of the island after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the central, Sabragama, Uva and northwestern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabragama, western and Uva provinces during the morning. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. It has been stressed that following health guidelines is essential to control the spread of the COVID plus variant in the country. A decision has been taken to complete the vaccination for all eligible children within 2 weeks. The government says that there is no fuel shortage in the country. There is a significant increase in the number of dengue patients. Political consultations between Sri Lanka and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Alec Baldwin heartbroken over fatal film set shooting. and Sri Lanka beat the Netherlands by 8 wickets. That concludes this morning's news broadcast, and now it's back to your host across the glass pane, Victor Raj.
Thank you, Sound.